What's going on, everyone? My name is Will Walford here, even though my name down here says Marie Brownhill. Please do not pay attention to that because that is a discrepancy. I do not know why I did not. Marie, please tell me why I didn't correct that. See, this is why I can't stand y'all. Y'all always play too much and I can't do nothing. Well, anyway, over to my, I guess to my left, if you're watching this way, even though over here is like my right. Hi, Marie. Marie's over
I
here.
am actually Marie Brownhill.
This is the Marie Brown here. I am the mirror universe Marie Brown here. So as a matter of fact, I'm not even that. I'm not even that. I am one of those that Worf saw in parallels in TNG season 7. So that is me, the one where the combat had like 3 lines across it for no reason, and for some reason Wesley was back, and he was like, he took Worf's job, and it's just like, how did Wesley take Worf's job?
Why do you have? Well, seriously, why do you put yourself in this shitty universe? Like, why?
Because I do not know, and I am lonely. I'm single, and I just want someone to love me. So oh my god!
Wait,
don't read yourself.
So if you were tuning in to this week's LGBTrek, we have at least William, who is in dire need of some affection. So, like, comment, subscribe, and leave a number.
Tell him you love him, please.
I need an anxiety. I do. I really do. Like, since we on the topic, I ain't gonna lie. I can give you some Bashir now. I can do it. I ain't gonna lie to you. We cannot act like the season 1 through 4 Bashir wasn't cute. He was cute.
I think he's lovely now. Like in 2021.
Yeah, he's more handsome as he's older. He looks.
What is with y'all? No, I do not want.
I do not. It's literally the same impulse that has us all crushing on Daddy Vance.
Look, I do not want the Raish or the Ra's al Ghul version of Bashir. I do not want, if y'all watch Arrow, I do not want him. Like, I do not want the Gotham version of him. I do not want whoever that was. He was Raish al Ghul. The point is, I don't like all that. That's cool, but hook me up with his son then. He my age, hell. So we may as well bring him on the show. And
not a visitor would whoop your ass.
I hope she does, because I will consider it an honor.
It's going to be that kind of show today, folks.
That would be the
welcome. This is the messy one.
I hope she cusses my ass out. I hope she does, and I would just be like, yes, ma'am, yes.
Girl, she whoop your ass. So
I hope so. I mean,
you misunderstand, Robin. Like, that's the appeal.
Look, give me a 7-foot-tall Major Kira. Yes, I am there right with you. But we got a show to do today. Let's get on.
This is the show. I mean, like I'm just saying, you knew in that Waxana episode that they had a kid from that intimate kiss. That's how they made that happen. Like, they just didn't look. Like, you knew how they got together. You just knew it. Like, and at the end of the day,
y'all, we're gonna do a whole Waxana series in FTP. So
why is there no Trek drag for Waxana?
We've had this conversation before. I have no idea.
Do I need to be the first? I'll do it.
I mean,
I ain't shaving, but I'll do it.
Anyway. Yeah, no. Like, I think we need. I mean, we know we have a Deanna Troi drag.
Oh yeah, drag. Yeah.
Really? A Troi drag?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All you have to do is wear blue.
He does the whole like jumpsuit thing that they made her wear.
Oh, like the purple
or
and
she
beige, yeah.
Like,
pick your pronoun.
I could see a very good 7 of 9 drag. Like, I want that in my life.
I've seen that for a lot of women. I have not seen any men do it. Yeah, but I've seen a lot of women do it on TikTok.
I will also tell you.
What are you afraid of? Put on the pair of fake boobs and do it.
Look. Give me 60 pounds to go. I will do it.
Because I will tell you that I have seen a lot of ladies do it, and that has just reaffirmed my sexual orientation.
You know what? Well, I'm with you, because because I got the same goal for the next year. I'm with you. Halloween, do 60 pounds. For the episode that week, I will put on a 7 of 9 costume.
By
I'm
that
with
point,
you.
everyone will know us, and we can just be like 7 of 9. In our case, 2 of 9. Like,
No, it would be 14 of 9 because we're both 7 of 9.
that's right. We are together. We are
Because
14.
that's how math works.
Yes. We are
Marie like,
LGB
please, can we
14
just
of
get this
9.
episode over with?
No, I am here. Do not
So,
mistake this. I understand that I'm channeling my inner disapproving Jermaine, but no, I am here for this ride.
oh man, we are literally in it for the ride. Anyway, so all right, so let's get to it because I'm actually looking forward to this conversation. The reason I went on ahead and got started is because I wanted to voice my curiosity of any homoeroticism between Garrick and Bashir in a Deep Space Nine episode called Our Man Bashir. Now,
I love that you're falling on the sword because this was totally Robin's idea. Robin wanted to take us to the bickering.
I know, which is why I'm gonna. How do I do this? Let's do this.
There we go. Robin, take us to the bickering boyfriend.
Bickering boyfriend.
Please do it.
Okay, so you guys have outed me. I am a complete shill for some Bashir x Garrick fanfic. I write it, I read it. I'm a shill. I'm sorry. This was just a vanity project.
A vanity project.
I'm joking.
Where may I purchase your work? Is that it behind you?
You're gonna have to share with us your AO3 handle now.
Oh dear God.
You opened that door.
Oh my God. You know, I wrote my immortal, guys. It's me. I'm sorry.
Guys, I'm getting too over this shit.
You are not. I am the oldest person here, and I'm
impressed Marie knew that. I'm impressed Marie got that.
I mean, Robin,
bickering boyfriend.
Look.
The reason why I picked this episode is, like I said, I love the Bashir x Garrick relationship. Even though, yes, Bashir canonically is not gay, unfortunately. It would be so much easier if he was, because it's just dripping with subtext, especially in the first few seasons with Garrick. And if you know, of course, Alexander Robinson, this is what he infuses into the character. He knows what kind of shill I am, and he speaks exactly to me.
Yes, that's what he was doing. Andrew Robinson was like, yes, I am going to reach into the future and touch Robin Alyssa's wig.
Yes.
And stroke her fanon.
He's like, this is going to appeal to someone who is but an egg in their mother's womb. And I'm going to do this specifically for them.
All right, I'm going to need you to dial that down because that's going to make me feel real old in a minute, so stop.
But this episode in particular, so we have a James Bond parody, which I know, Marie, you were going to talk a little bit about how in pop culture, James Bond has a lot of inherent homoeroticism in it, which also plays into this episode. But I guess I'll just do a little bit of a breakdown and then we can jump into it. It's a transporter accident, of course. Everybody gets shipped into the holodeck. The holodeck program is Bashir's. I don't know if you would call it. I mean, it's a James Bond parody, but I don't know if you would call it his, like, fantasy.
It's literally Bashir's version of the Dixon Hill.
Yeah.
Yes. There you go.
That's what it is, right? Like, I mean, so, like, while Picard is over here pretending to be a gumshoe, like...
hang on.
Bashir is engaged in this insane sort of male power fantasy.
Right.
So he's a secret agent. He has this fantastic apartment. He gets to hang out in these amazing places in the 60s. And even his valet is like this incredibly hot Let's be real. Like, incredibly hot, incredibly intelligent, incredibly accomplished woman who, in the real world, would have better things to do than to fetch his suits.
Yeah.
And of course, she ends up fridged, guys. Like we meet her, she has 3 lines, and then she gets stabbed in the back, which is a very sort of James Bond move.
That's pretty much what happens. It's just like, if you're the girl, you're gonna die. Like, it's gonna happen.
Yes.
Right. And one of the many things I love about this episode is just how physical the sets are.
They really took their time.
They have that kind of, like, I mean, even in the 90s, this was unusual. I'd say this was unusual even in the 90s. Like, they were hitting the 60s vibe really hard.
Right.
My favorite, of course, being like the bed that just kind of like rotates open, and like there is, Nana's visitors, Kira Nerys, who is channeling her inner parody of a Russian spy. Complete with the satin nightgown and the fuzzy heeled slippers.
Right.
I mean, anytime I get to see Nana Visitor in a satin nightgown, I am a happy woman. I'm not gonna lie.
Anytime. They even have the names. The names are just amazing, because Jadzia Dax's character in the holodeck is Dr. Honeybear.
Is that the cat?
Yes, hang on. Hey.
Okay.
Oh my god. I like how everyone...
So this is very much like picked straight out of, I would say, probably the Sean Connery era Bonds, honestly.
Oh, yes, the Sean Connery. It sounds like this all the time.
Right. And so of course, like, Julian Bashir casts himself as the James Bond, like, as the spy. And
right.
Garrick is curious as to where, like, he's, like, Julian's been and what he's doing. And so he's like, he basically lets himself in.
Right. Because it's like, from the perspective,
because that's the thing you do in the 21st century.
That is the thing you do. Because where I was curious from was just like, I knew that Garrick's character wanted to be a gay character, or at the very least a bisexual character. Me personally, with Julian, I think he had it written all over him. But the question that I had for this episode was, how was this homoeroticism? Because it's just like, from the outside looking in, it's like, I see, okay, Garrick often talks about Cardassian literature. Literally, almost every almost every brunch that they have together, they always talk about literature and how it's better, even though it's so repetitive and it is the exact same way. Well, I thought, when I originally watched, I know different now, but when I originally watched this, I was like, okay, is he trying to see how the thought process of Julian with American literature, early 21st century American literature versus Cardassian literature, or is he just following him around because he has a crush on him?
I think he's fascinated by Julian for a lot of reasons. I don't even think it's necessarily literature related. I think he's just interested. Julian is kind of a weird newcomer to the station. Garrick's been there for a while, and I think Andrew Robinson noticed very early on that Garrick's relationship with Bashir doesn't make any sense unless Garrick was like, that's hot and I want a piece of that.
Now, does this episode happen before or after the okay, Robin, before or after the brain thing that Garrick had in his head?
I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure this is fairly early in the whole thing. Like, do you remember what season that is?
I don't know. If I may look it up real quick, because Robin said that she is back. Let's see.
Robin, do you remember what season this is? Armand Bashir?
Season 4. Yeah, season 4.
So yeah, I think it's actually before, but don't quote me, the brain issue with Garrett.
It's the episode before Homecoming, I believe.
So this was so that Garrick episode was before our man Bashir.
Now you're gonna have to check memory alpha for this because I had to.
Because I'm trying before I make a case, I want to see if their relationship is solidified enough for me to say, yeah, Garrick had, because Garrick gives me sapiosexual vibes, where I think on the low he already knew Julian was enhanced, he just kept it to himself.
Oh, most definitely. He probably found the Black Order probably found that out somehow. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like Garrick's whole shtick is he sews and he knows things.
I mean, he sews and he knows. Like,
right. I mean,
he make it so, and then we have Garrick.
Right. I mean, I sort of, it would not surprise me if Garrick had an idea, but like, their relationship is even from the beginning is so not the relationship of Garrick trying to pump him for information, because that's not what he's doing.
In fact, even though Garrick low-key sought Julian out, and Julian was
it's not even low-key. Like, that's not no. There is no
that don't happen, because I'm still stuck on the reaction Julian had when he ran to Ops and said, "Oh my God, guys, you will not believe who I just
Cardassian spy.
The Cardassian." And I literally am watching this. I'm like, dude, I know that they literally just had the occupation like last week, but bitch, that is racist as fuck. Don't say the Cardassian like that. Like, I'm just look.
He was a child. Is a spy, and now he's never just plain and simple Garrett.
Just plain and simple, and he was telling the truth even when he was lying. So it's just like, bro. Do you know how smart Garrick actually is? Do you know how
fantastic? Garrick is this fantastic character. But like, what I was saying while you were gone, Robin, is that I think Andrew Robinson looked at this very early on and was like, "This makes no sense unless Garrick is looking at that and saying that's attractive." Because what is the doctor going to know? Like, what use is the doctor to Garrick?
Yes. Thank you. Bashir to Garrick is no one but a doctor that Starfleet threw out on DS9 because he was begging for some sort of assignment on a space station somewhere. That's all Bashir is.
And Bashir is very clearly, set up as being a young, like he's not networked into anything. This is like his first post, I believe, out of the academy.
Well, he had the option of choosing a Federation starship, but he chose
Deep Space Nine
for the Wilderness Medicine.
So, the Wilderness, which is also what could be interpreted as a low-key racist type. Because it's just like, oh, I'm going to go to Africa in the jungle, in the wilderness. And I'm like, bitch, if someone said that to me, I'd be like...
Yeah, no, someone wants to go to South Africa because they want to practice wilderness medicine. Like, come on.
So I could see...
And you're like...
So I could see how Kira wanted to slap the mess out of him.
Well done, you. Yeah, like, it's... So again, like I don't understand like what Garrick is ever intended to get out of Julian, because there's just not anything that he's gonna get. Julian's not part of work councils. He's not part of he doesn't get like daily intelligence briefs. Like that's just not his wheelhouse. That's not his mission set. His mission. Sure, maybe. Maybe biological weapons, but to be fair, the Cardassians have been doing that a whole lot longer and a whole lot better than Federation did. So you're just kind of like, all right. So I can sort of see like Andrew Robinson looking at the script going, why is he going over to this guy?
I mean, if you think about it, why? Because he already has a rapport with the crew. He already has a best friend. He already has other genetically enhanced. Why he hasn't. They hadn't come at that point yet. But the point is, he does. And so why would they have this relationship? Now, I'm not saying that two men can't have a friendship. You can, okay? You absolutely can. But at the same time, baby, Garrett took it on his own will to follow him into the holosuite that he did not know what was going on. And to respect to Julian, he didn't know what was going on either. And followed him, took the time to put on a tailored suit.
Just to right. Can we also talk about that for a second? But let's go back to that lunch. Let's go back to the first lunch when we first meet Garrett.
Oh, man.
Garrett comes out of nowhere. And I gotta tell you, I've been hit on by enough dudes
to know what that is.
I mean, I understand that I've been married for a decade, but like I can understand. That's what he's doing.
He's hitting on her.
He's coming over to talk to Jillian because he thinks Jillian's hot.
And then going back to those holosuites, I don't know what anyone else is doing in those holosuites, but
Quark had, we all have to acknowledge that Quark had to buy the enhanced biological scrubbers.
Yes.
I mean, what I love about one of the things I love about Deep Space Nine is that Deep Space Nine is not pretending that people are climbing the effing Matterhorn, right? Like, that's not what they're pretending to do. No.
They're very realistic about what humans would actually use these holosuites for.
Right.
No shade, but shade.
Hey, look, if Worf can go and, have himself some fun with Jadzia, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the holosuite.
Man,
whatever, man. It's the 24th century. We all understand that we got needs, and apparently, got weaponized particles of light that can do that for you.
In the 24th century, they have their own form of masturbation, and that is completely fine because it's better than the blow-up dolls we have today and stuff. So, not that I would know. I wouldn't know.
That is what I mean, William. You are the king of left turns at this point.
No one was thinking
I have been holding back. I have been holding back I've been holding back the last few episodes. I have been holding back. I've been respectful, been cool, but baby, when you put me on for FTP and LGBTrek and BlackTrek, I am there with you, especially for BlackTrek. So this is like on level 2, and then BlackTrek is like level 1, and I'm just there with you because it's just do you want a blow up doll or do you want a holosuite?
Look,
where no one will judge you.
Don't let me tell Jermaine about this blow up doll, okay? I'm gonna keep that fresh. Just
he's gonna see this anyway, okay?
Jermaine is going to kick us off for misbehaving.
His perception is not my problem right now, okay? I is the first officer. Let me explain something to you.
I'm serious. I'm talking about how you're blowing this thing up. I'm not sure I'm interested, really.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. If Will Riker could have a little Horgon, then
is that what we're calling it now?
Then why can't this William have holosuite?
No one is saying you can't have a holosuite. No one is saying. But we are
Vulcans have it when they go through
the detour into the inflatable thing got a little weird.
To quote Armin Shimmerman, what you do in the privacy of your holosuite is up to you.
Or who? Or who?
What were we talking about again?
We just started talking about dolls. I just wanted to talk about some wholesome husbands. We're gonna talk about some dolls, some blow up dolls. Y'all nasty.
First of all, I'm gonna have to interrupt you right now, sweetheart. I love you, but there is no way that you're going to sell me that Garrick is a wholesome husband.
Oh.
I mean, he would have been a wholesome husband to Zial.
He would be there. He'd be cooking breakfast. He'd be cooking dinner. He'd be like, "Oh, honey,
he'd be doing all of those things with a whole lot of kinky shit going on."
Look. I did not want to say this. Because it's just like me as a late teenager at the time of watching this episode for the first time. I didn't know that it would be confirmed that Garrick was going to be the gay character, just like Geordi was for TNG. All I could think about was, he's a tailor? That is the gayest shit I've ever seen. And I didn't know it. I was like, oh my god, did I just judge him? Did I just assume his sexuality? Ooh.
No. Like, wait a minute. He's the guy who's he's a dude into, oh, yeah. No. Mm-hmm.
He is literally like that crossover. Because you remember, like, in the early 70s and 80s, they portrayed homosexual men as villains. And then you come into the 90s where it's a little bit funny. Garrick is like in the middle. He's like in the middle.
And this is why, and I love that you brought that up, because this is actually a really great segue into Our Man Bashir, because Our Man Bashir is a James Bond fantasy.
Yeah.
Right? And James Bond spends a lot of time queer coding its villains.
Ooh. What's queer coding for those that don't know it?
Queer coding. Yeah, Robin, you do it.
Marie.
Nope, it's all you.
All right, so queer coding is when you take a character that is not intended to be gay and give them attributes that would be considered a part of the LGBT community. A good example.
Well,
I was going to say an example.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So a good example would be Castiel and Dean from Supernatural. Right? We have a super masculine man with a more effeminate man. They confess their love for each other, their undying passion. They make all of these cute comments to each other, and it's implied.
I don't know if I would necessarily call that queer coding. I think that's queer baiting, is what I would call
that's the question that I had. That's the question I had. What's the difference between queer coding and queer baiting?
So queer baiting is when you're literally invoking that are they, aren't they, kind of flirting with the concept of a relationship between these two characters that would be queer. Queer coding is, like Robin said, where, you have someone who has like various, like, stereotypical characteristics that are associated with a certain type of community, like in this case, the LGBTQIA positive, the long ass acronym.
So is Bashir queer baiting and Garrick queer coding?
I don't think so. I really don't.
Not queer baiting, because
Garrick is queer coded because he's a tailor. Because of the way Andrew Robinson portrays how he moves, how, like, he's constantly kind of up in Bashir's space. He has this sense of fastidiousness to him that you don't get with, say, like, more overtly heterosexual characters, like, say, Cisco.
Just the implied comments. They always have a little bit of innuendo added to them. Little things.
Right. I mean, and so, like, from James Bond, we think about the assassin and the man with a golden gun, right? I mean, he's got this gun, and guns are frequently phallic symbols in film and other media, and especially so in James Bond. And the actor spends a lot of time stroking this weapon, y'all.
Okay. Well.
And so, and there's a long history of portraying villains, especially male villains, as being, effeminate. They can't be quite as powerful as the heroes, because, then how is the hero going to triumph unless we're dealing with an underdog, is sort of stereotypical story. They tend to be insidious. They tend to be, like, into fashion. I mean, like, there's a reason we have this whole, like, the mustache and the cape and whatever, right? Because the idea is that if we, and I don't even necessarily think this is an active idea, but what it breaks down to is that if your villain is queer coded, that queer coding serves as a signal to the audience that there's something disordered about this individual. And queer coding has been around since the 40s. It's been, I mean, for ages in film cinema, and you can actually like track it through various incarnations. And then in the 90s, interestingly enough, that actually flips, and it becomes bisexual people.
Right.
Are villainous.
Please don't get me started on Willow from Buffy. Please don't get me started. Okay.
Well, I was actually going to take Intendant Kira, and then Philippa Giorgio is where I was going to go.
Intendant Kira is a better one, but no.
Do you really have the hots for Intendant Kira?
Me?
Yeah.
How fucking...
Why?
What kind of game do you think this is?
I didn't think it was a game. I was just asking a question, girl. We here in the gay ass barbershop. I just want to know, is it the fact that she wears leather?
Yes, it's the fact that
I gotta say, like, I find myself distracted in a negative way by that terrible headband.
The headband is bad.
The headband is bad, but the rest of it,
yeah.
But the point is like, in order to distinguish her from regular Kira, they actually have they code her as, I mean, it's not even coding; she's overtly bisexual.
They make it quite clear,
right?
And the way
and the concept here is like, we can't necessarily, like, we're in the late, sort of mid to late 90s, and we're now getting in past the, you know, the gays are bad, but so there's something inherently wrong with somebody who doesn't care about the proverbial plumbing. Is kind of the idea here, and we get a little bit of that even. Yeah, right there, guys, right there. That headband is terrible, but the rest of it, I can work with that.
The updo for me anyway.
And everybody's learning more than they need to know about Maria and Robin. But I mean, and Discovery even does this with Philippa Giorgio.
That's not Philippa Giorgio.
It's not, but also, I mean, good picture.
I was just being messy at this point, but go ahead.
This is already the messy show, so.
I mean, it's just like, I think Bashir is cute, and y'all think the Intendant is hot. I'm not gonna deny it. She is. She's a nice piece of ass. Like, she got. It's just every time she walks everywhere, it squeaks. Like,
she
it just
subjugate me anytime she wants, and that will be
subjugate.
She can subjugate me anytime she wants.
I feel like she would put a Klingon female to shame. So I don't know what she's going to do to you.
I don't know either.
I feel like she's game to find out, though. I feel
like
that's
the exciting part.
What if not meant for children? I would love to know your thoughts on Trek fantasies during Trek.
I can just see Manny's face
just imploding.
Okay, back to what we were talking about. I remember Bashir.
But anyway, like, I mean, but again, we kind of flirt a little bit with that, with Philippa Giorgio, even in 2021. So I think picking this particular setup is interesting, right? I think it was a ridiculous amount of fun for everybody involved, because, you know, like, they all pulled out the stops and like started chewing through scenery, like they were wood chippers.
Nana Visitor had a lot of fun,
and it looked ridiculous.
It that beautiful,
like, ridiculous amounts of fun. But I think it's interesting because, like, we've got Bashir embarking on what is effectively a male power fantasy, and Garrett coming in and kind of hamstringing it, and subverting the tropes. There's a moment when he makes the comment that, like, I joined the wrong clandestine organization and I just about died. That was amazing.
That's kind of ultimately where I was heading with this, is the fact that Bashir chooses such a dominant male power fantasy, right? Being a spy, going around, and then the fact that Bashir is the one to ultimately ruin the fantasy and pull everybody back out of the fantasy and bring Bashir a little bit back to life at the end of the episode. That's
Also, can we talk about this picture that you have for us? I mean, I understand, like, they had to stand relatively close to each other because of television screens back in the 90s, but, like, there's a personal space bubble that does not exist here.
Oh, he's trying to sniff his hair, and girl...
Because Garrick is clearly not looking at the girl over there.
Does not even notice her. It's amazing.
Doesn't notice those go-go boots or nothing. They clearly does not look at the original series look over there. Like,
I see the go-go boots.
We know, Robin.
I see the go-go boots. What is with you and leather, honey? You know what? We just gonna leave that alone.
I really don't. I mean, Will, if we have to explain that to you, you're too young to be on this show.
Oh, I know. I already know. I just want to see if you have the gall, the unmitigated gall, to explain it to me on this show.
I
can't believe you have the sheer fucking hubris to ask.
Excuse me. Girl.
Stop it.
I'm sorry. We got way off track.
We have not been on track since this started, and we are 36 minutes in.
I've been holding this in. I've been holding this in for like a week now.
I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. Like, are we talking about the episode?
Okay,
are we talking about
this is what I need to know. I understand what Andrew Robinson wanted, and I understand the vibes Bashir gives off. But can we give like examples of moments, like kind of like this one right here, like where we talk about like they're inside each other's bubble right here, right? Like, is there other examples that we can talk about, or moments that where they're just like, any a little bit, like, isn't that a little like, you know,
when he shoots Garrick?
Yeah.
Any other situation? And again, this is a James Bond parody episode, and James Bond use it frequently, like in terms of visual iconography. And I know this because my husband is obsessed with James Bond, like obsessed. I have seen far more of those movies than I ever wanted to see. Also, again, like, here we go.
I feel like it's like we know what they wanted to do,
right? But even setting that aside, right? Like, even setting that aside, there's a moment at the very end of the episode when Garrick has had enough and is not interested in dying, and so Garrick.
That's right. I forgot.
And Garrick is like, you know, this is when he gives that great monologue. Spies don't have honor. Spies don't have whatever. They don't, like, I don't have any of those things. What I do have is a finely honed sense of when to get out, and that's why I'm alive and my colleagues are not. And Julian's just basically looking at him like, no, we're not going to condemn everybody else to death, because that was the idea, right? Is that all of these other characters, Jadzia Dax, Captain Sisko, Kira, even Miles O'Brien and that ridiculous eye patch.
Can we talk about that eye patch for like 30 seconds?
Oh, that was a thing.
Seriously.
That was such a James Bond thing.
I think they just ran out of costumes to give everybody, so Colm just got like, he was just like, well, you're gonna get the eye patch and the leather jacket, because we already gave the brown suit to Avery Brooks, so sorry.
Narrow collar included, like, I mean, and that man was having so much fun. Let's talk about that. Just having so much fun. But Garrick basically kind of puts it out for Julian. Like, I don't think, I mean, and Julian pulls out this minute gun, right? Like, it's like this big, which is a whole conversation.
Not my new gun, like.
Marie. Don't.
And again, like, I really love how just like Sid Fiddle's just going for it in that whole scene. It's just like, all right, fine, I am on this train and I cannot get off. So we're just gonna do that. We're just gonna go for it.
I mean, all I can say is Julian can always shoot his shot.
This is not getting any better. It's not getting any better. But anyway, so effectively what Garrick does is Garrick actually shoots it, or Julian shoots Garrick and wounds him, and Garrick starts bleeding. And in any other context, like a normal friendship relationship would have been like, you just shot me. Like, we need to deal with that. That is not what happens with Garrick.
He's impressed.
He's impressed, and he's kind of borderline excited.
I don't have a picture that I looked for one. But I'm just gonna pull this one up and just.
Which is again one of the reasons that my suspicion is that Garrick may be over there making you eggs in the morning, but that's because he's gotten you like chained to the bed all night. There's a kink factor here.
I wouldn't put it past.
I mean, obviously, you're on the
he's been kind of needling Bashir throughout the entirety of this episode, just needling. But also kind of like clearly crushing on him. Clearly.
I guess he wants to, like, in a way, push his buttons and see how far he'll go.
And it's that moment, like when he shoots Garrick.
To me,
knowing that the holodeck safeties are off, guys. Like, I mean, Julian could kill him.
So the reason why I picked this episode is because that needling factor, right? That reminds me so much of how I acted when I came out, right? When I started having and actually letting my crushes on other women be known, that's how I would act in order to get.
You brought them into a 007 holosuite?
Yes, with my go-go boots and my Spanx.
I mean, that explains a lot, girl. I need to come where you at. Like,
I mean, the clubs where she is are much better than the clubs where we are, like, hands down.
Look.
Dude, I miss DuPont Circle.
Ugh. If it wasn't COVID.
I'm gonna build a holosuite. You guys gotta come.
I really want to make sure that you have those biological filters installed. However,
no,
like,
it'll be a regular
sanitized.
007. It'll be a regular 007 episode. We're gonna put Jermaine in that brown suit, and as we're gonna put him in brown suit, I can already tell you Brandon's gonna be the eye patch guy. And
what's his name? Like Falco, I think.
Yeah, something. And well, who would you think I would be?
I'm not even touching it. I'm not touching it. Nope.
See, I thought you were gonna make Jermaine Bashir, and you were gonna be Garrick. That's where I thought you were headed with all this. But you made Bashir Avery Brooks. So
no, we need a special character for that. Not saying Jermaine's not special, but I'm just saying, like, you just like no, because it's like I feel like I could be Julian, but Jermaine doesn't give me Garrick vibes. It has to be someone who can really portray Garrick. I feel like Jermaine would be a better Cisco.
Some messiness. I'm sorry.
I think you did. I think you did. I think there's some messiness.
I need to learn how to keep my mouth shut.
You know he's gonna watch this,
like,
and
anytime the holodeck comes up, things are gonna come up. Like, that's just
This is.
I'm gonna need those biofilters, like you said. They're just gonna have to be
right. Biofilters, all of the biofilters.
And then like Quark is gonna have to run through it with a UV light too before I step into it.
It's not that serious. See, I didn't even call for that kind of holosuite. You know, I say blow up dolls one time, and y'all take it out of
what
proportion.
You do in the private, because I know what I would do in the holosuite. So what you do in the privacy of your holosuite is up to you.
Thank thank you. I appreciate that. You know, but we're talking
about what happens in the holosuite stays
in the holosuite. I just know what I would do. We both on the train to hell together, Will.
I will smoke a blunt with the devil next to hell and everything, child.
This is amazing.
I'm actually kind of curious as to how Jermaine will react to this. Like
I feel like we're taking his name in vain, honestly.
I really are. I really are. With all of our 27 subscribers. Like
he's not Jesus. It's fine.
It's all right. It's all right. Can we get back? Can we get back to the Texas?
Yeah,
can we get back to the crazy?
Let's get back to the Texas.
Get back to the Texas. Like, come on.
Yes. Talk about how gay he is and talk about the gay shit.
Come back to like the gay fascist wizard.
Yeah.
Anyone have any other thoughts?
I mean, there are just like these great moments when, you know, Julian introduces like the Kira character as his wife, and like there's a moment when Garrick just kind of stares daggers at her, and it's just like laying on a little thick, Andrew.
Like, that look was like, that should be me. What are you doing?
Right. And also, let's have a conversation about the fact that like Bashir points out to Garrick that entering into somebody else's holodeck program uninvited is illegal, and you know
it is true,
invasive and really awkward. And Garrick's like, okay, and not only is he like, okay, but he shows up appropriately attired, and we know that 90% of the time when they go into the holodeck, they've had to replicate all of this, like these outfits. But Garrick
did his research.
Garrick is aware.
He knew he was genetically enhanced. He knew a lot of stuff. He's attracted to him. He knew it before he got on the station.
You were the one who was asking us. I'm glad to see you've come around.
Yes.
You know, I'm coming around while I'm waiting for him to come out.
I mean, Andrew Robinson himself has said that was what he wanted to do, and that's how, kind of like in the background of what he was doing when he was performing.
Garrick literally wanted to be this to Julian.
I'm sorry, like, Robin.exe has encountered an error.
I'm too tired. I'm too gay for that image.
Oh,
that's just like the one with the Orions from the other one.
Oh, like,
yeah. Which Orion episode?
Like no, remember somebody pulled up. I can't even remember what was that.
It was Jermaine. And he pulled up a picture of.
Oh, Orion?
Well, yeah.
Of Orion's slave girls.
Yeah. And Robin.exe encountered a crash.
Yes. Because I have the mind of a 16-year-old boy. I see tits. I go, oh. Okay.
Blank.
I mean,
don't do it.
I mean,
I see you Googling.
I mean, it's you know, it's just like here we go. 3, 2, 1. You okay?
Alrighty.
I mean, I hate to cross fandoms, but Robin's gonna be in her bunk.
All right. Let's just continue, Robin, please.
I didn't have anything to continue. I was just gonna say I think we've expanded all of our talking and have devolved into making. Okay, well, I got you. Don't worry. I got you.
Ooh. Y'all, this means Black Track's about to get interesting.
Look,
don't worry.
That's what you get. That's what you get. I know my dating abilities, okay? I know I can always do better. Let's make that clear, okay? Let's just make that clear, All right. But if you
I
keep
got
acting
you.
up, I am gonna package one of these heifers and send it to your house.
Please do.
Robin will even pay for postage.
I will pay for the shipping. Please do.
Overnight shipping, girl.
Brooke wouldn't care, so please do.
No, Jermaine's gonna put us in timeout. This ain't even about Star Trek no more.
But don't worry,
Guys,
I got you. Don't worry.
At this point in our Trekkers Delay, we only have 27 subscribers and 200 likes on Facebook. Look, we love you guys, and and all this stuff. I'm not closing out, but I'm just saying, like, we love each other. We do. And it's we're just like Nichelle Nichols said in that one movie. We're a family, and that's the way we're gonna stay.
And this is amazing. And now none of us is ever going to be able to run for political office.
I guarantee that we won't. Like, it's just not going to happen. It's just like, I mean, I will say this.
If I get put up for something like head of the Department of Education, like if some president, if I'm fortunate enough for that to happen to me, I would want one of y'all to go like, no, he is one.
So here's a YouTube link because the internet is forever.
You can bring it up in my congressional hearing. It's fine.
I'm literally hoping by that point cancel culture will become ancient history. But it's just like, no, you remember that one time, but here's the thing: if you really want to be a politician, be like Garrick and never tell the same line twice.
He's such a great character. Like, he's such a great character, and he's one of those things that keeps bringing me back to Deep Space Nine.
I feel like
Garrett is my favorite character in DS9. Before Quark, it's Garrick. Then Quark.
I would say
I'm seeing a theme here.
It's well, yeah. Well, for me, it's Odo, Quark, then Garrett. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like those three make the show.
So I mean, fair, and I love the repartee, the chemistry between Rene Auberjonois and Armin Shimmerman, however you say his name. I don't actually know. I don't.
It's okay. I'll let him know
I can pronounce Rene Auberjonois, but the rest of it, not so much.
Yeah, go ahead.
But the repartee between them and the chemistry between them is fantastic. And then the chemistry between Colomini and Citadel is fantastic, and also with Andrew Robinson. But these characters are so interesting because Deep Space Nine gets to occupy this gray space that nowhere else do we really get in Trek.
Right.
Because Deep Space Nine deals with a lot of characters that are outside of Starfleet and outside of the Federation.
Right.
And I think that's deliberate. We sort of get a little bit of that in Voyager with the Betazoid guy that they rehabilitate and teach to grow orchids.
It has been a minute since I've seen Voyager, so you're going to have to remind me.
He ends up being a criminal and a murderer, and basically Tuvok takes him on as his project, and ultimately the gentleman in question sacrifices his own life.
You're talking about Chucky, right?
I hadn't really thought of that image, but now it's never going to go away.
Oh, that's how I pitched the episode to my friends. Chucky was on Voyager.
Yeah.
Oh wait, literally the actor who played Chucky was on Voyager.
No.
Yeah, it was him.
Was he?
Same one. That's Chucky. Quite literally. He literally just got done with Child's Play 1.
I have to watch Voyager again now.
Watch it under the scope that dude is Chucky. Because they literally put him on that show to kill an officer for no reason. Which is what Chucky does. So it's Chucky was on Voyager.
Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. Over the pandemic, I have rewatched every single Star Trek series, but Voyager. I tried to watch the first 4 episodes again.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
Season 1 is rough. Season 1 is unusually rough.
Yeah.
I would hit the highlights of seasons 1, 2, and 3, and then like hit it hard on 4.
Season 4.
Right.
Because it's rough. They couldn't quite figure out it's the hair paradox. It's the hair rule. Like Worf doesn't get good until he figures out what to do with his hair. Riker doesn't get good until he grows the beard.
So Janeway doesn't get good until she works out the bun.
The bun.
Yeah, until like she stops having to wear her hair in a bird's nest.
This is true.
That was a tough
I'm like, that was very matronly. Very matronly. And I'm like, Kate Mulgrew is not...
No, she wasn't that old. She was in her 40s, right? She
was in her 30s.
She was in her 30s.
Anyway.
It made me think she was older because she's in her 30s and she looks like she's in her 40s.
Honestly, she gave me Katharine Hepburn vibes. Like... which I think she did that on purpose for Janeway's character, but at least for season 1. But anyway, so last question: if Garak and Bashir were a couple, let's say season 2 on out, what would they be like?
I mean, we've already established there's going to be some sort of weird sex gem.
Yeah. They'd be messy. You know how Keiko and O'Brien have their marital struggles, and like they sometimes get along, sometimes don't. Keiko wants to own a school. You know that, yeah. It'd be that, but
with a side
would be mad that Bashir is in Section 31.
Oh man, and Garak would be all over that too. I feel like Garak would love Section 31.
All up in that shit.
Now that is a Section 31 story. Like,
yep.
What? Photoshop that. That's good.
Wow. That? Wow. Well, like your command of the Google.
He knows what's on my mind. Don't worry. I already texted Jermaine some images for Black Trek tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. I am ready. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I am on one today. Yeah, I'm probably going to be scared tomorrow. I'm probably going to just be a quiet church mouse and just be like, yes, sir. And just like not say anything. And then Robin's just going to be like,
no. This is a safe space.
Angel.
I mean, I understand that lock is standing up, but it looks more like horns than a halo right now.
I was going to say, yeah, I think that lock is standing way up.
Angel Halo.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
we got about 2 minutes, guys. Do we want to finish that homoeroticism or just
closing thoughts. All I gotta say is I think Julian is cute. I was gonna say someone else's name by accident, but I'm well kept. And so stop, Robin, stop. And I think Julian is cute.
Well kept indeed.
Thank you. And I think Garak would have been a great gay character. Me personally, I have the hots for Damar. But I don't know why. Don't ask me.
You like them broken?
It's just I had this weird thing. I have this weird thing where my boyfriend has to be like a project that I have to fix. And I'm trying to get away from that mentality, which is why I like being single. So
I mean, I swear, I really think Damar smells a lot like licorice all the time.
He does.
For the sheer amount of what is it, Kanak?
Kanar.
Kanar. There we go. Kanar.
Not Kanak. Well, he's sipping the Kanak.
Right.
But yeah, I think that they're good. I see the dynamic now that I actually look back at the photos and see how incredibly close they are. The non-photoshopped ones, anyway. We've established that Robin has the hots for the intended still, and probably will never go away anytime soon. So I'll be
This
sure to.
is not a secret.
It's not a secret. I will mail her. I will mail her that visitor cat suit, like for sure. Like, all right. So, what are you guys' last thoughts?
Stop teasing me with the Ryan slave girl pictures.
I'm
Thank you
sorry.
very much.
I didn't
would
mean
like
to do
not.
that. I didn't mean to do it. I'm so sorry. Like,
You did not. Oh. Right. Now you gotta follow that up with the sheer fucking hubris. Like, that's what you've got to follow. There we go.
and the thing is, I was gonna click that anyway.
Oh my god,
See,
I'm living rent free
Will,
in your
the thing is, you don't realize you told me exactly your type the other day.
Oh.
Okay.
I got you.
So
I hope
so I guess we're ending our man Bashir on Robin's hookup service.
I mean, look, if she want to try, she can try. But I
told you,
if
I
you
know.
don't-
Look,
I mean,
the
she's
people
networked.
I know with money here, and I got you.
Look, I do not want money. I want gold pressed platinum. Okay, like, don't be shaking your head. I will be your greatest challenge yet.
Look, I promise you, if some of them are like Michael, some of them got some gold pressed and platinum somewhere in there. If some of them are as nerdy as Michael.
All right.
And somewhere Michael was like, I feel like my name is being taken in vain, and I don't know why.
What?
Oh God, please don't tell him I said that. He's gonna kill me.
Too late for that.
I mean, the internet is forever, Robin.
I mean, all I gotta say is make sure he's close to my age because I don't want to make any one of our other co-hosts jealous. So.
I told you, I got you. I got you.
Guys,
don't
apparently,
all right, guys.
I got you too. We good.
Anyway, so we did Our Man Bashir and LGBTrek. Make sure you tune in to our other shows. We changed up our schedule, so welcome to our new schedule where this week we are doing LGBTrek for this Monday. Tomorrow we are actually going to do Tech Trek, and while Wednesday we are going to be doing Black Trek Thursday following our live show, which we will review Discovery Season 4, Episode 7 before they go on their hiatus. Right? Something like that. Anyway.
2 months.
Yes,
all right,
2
guys.
months.
So like, comment, subscribe, follow us on all of our on all of your social media outlets, and find us wherever you get your podcasts.
Yay! See you guys. Bye.
Bye.